FNAF bootlegs are an unstoppable, never-ending cycle, and it's not that surprising. Any series as big and toyetic as FNAF is gonna have this much merch. Official and unofficial. And for this episode of my FNAF bootleg series, I wanted to try something a little different. What exactly that means, well, I guess you'll just have to find out. Now, some interesting bootlegs spawned from FNAF Security Breach Ruin, which are these action figures which are clearly supposed to be styled after Funko. And honestly, I was kind of considering getting these to review. Maybe I'll still do it eventually. These are kind of interesting. We got an AR Ruined Roxy, which is a neat idea. I wish Funko made this. I don't think this one's really a viable replacement, though. Glamrock Foxy, which, you know, that's not real. We got Mapbot, who looks alright, honestly. He's got some little rolling wheels and stuff. He's actually got his little map cartridge. They put some work into this. We got Mexis, who looks really funny. Like, I don't know why his eyes are completely lopsided and he's just kind of proportioned really weirdly. We also got Glamrock Bonnie, who doesn't look very good. I mean, I guess there's some nice parts of his sculpt, but this kind of just looks like crap. Then Eclipse here, obviously just a cheaper version of the Funko one. Shattered Freddy, who I do wish Funko made, since I think it would have been a cool way to resculpt Glamrock Freddy. This one, I mean, it is. If you want me to be honest, I think this Shattered Freddy has some nice charm. But the main star-like thing in this set is there's a Mimic action figure in this lineup, and it doesn't look half bad. Like, yeah, it's obviously a cheap bootleg, but for what it is, and compared to the other figures in this set, he looks very substantially better, and it's definitely helped by the fact that all of these figures are very skinny, and Mimic is an endoskeleton, so him being skinny doesn't really look weird. Congratulations, bootleggers, you made a Mimic figure that looks pretty okay. I wish Funko made one. Okay, so like little side tangent, but I really wish Funko was able to make this wave like double the size that it is. Like, the fact that this is the last Funko wave ever and that the figures that are in it are so good, but the fact that they just like couldn't make any more of them, that kind of sucks to me. Like, I wish this set was bigger, because for being the last Funko wave, it is a bit underwhelming that there's only 3 figures. Not even a bit, it's really underwhelming. Anyway, tangent over. Now, I've been sitting on these for a while, and, well, I wasn't exactly sure when would be a good time to actually open them, since they are quite weird, and I don't think they deserve a dedicated video, although I kind of felt like I needed to buy these. Like, I saw these for sale online, and I was like, okay, I need to know what's inside of these, because I have literally no clue, but I thought it would be a cool intermission thing for this video to open up these bootleg trading cards for Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, these are very interesting because they are made after the movie came out, around then, I believe. I don't know if there's a date on these. Is there a date? No date at all. Okay, so yeah, I have no clue when these were made, but I'm assuming quickly after the movie because of a lot of the logos and stuff on them. And you can see here, Superstar Battle Cards for this one. I'll do some research after reviewing these on what these actually are, but Superstar Battle Cards, it says here. Then these ones here say they are figure arte. So I guess, I don't know what that quite means, but they have a social media account and stuff. This one does not, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure. These ones have, like, registered things, which seems like they're pretending to be official, but they're absolutely not. So very, very curious to see what's inside of these things. I'll definitely save these ones for last with these strange character renders on them, but yeah, I guess let's just get into these. I don't know. So let's open up these packs. Let's start off with the least interesting artwork on these, which is this one, with Superstar Battle Cards, Five Nights at Freddy's here, and it's got the movie artwork with the movie logo, so pretty unassuming looking. This could pass off as official if I knew it wasn't official. It's kind of weird that it tries to pretend it is on the back, though. That's definitely pushes some boundaries. And then we can see here, it's got some more info. I think it's just the same thing copy-pasted, but we can open this up here and see what the heck is even inside of this thing, because I literally do not have a single clue. Okay. Old Mangle fan model. It says this is number 024. Whatever those numbers at the bottom mean, I don't know. But yeah, we got Mangle, which that is a Sister Location Funtime Foxy fan model by Quiddix, I believe the name of the modeler was. I just talked about that in the video recently. It's got this Circus Ennard. Okay. Got this weird fixed Ennard fan model. And it says it's Circus Ennard. He has much higher numbers. He has number 18. That is... Man, that... Oh, they have stuff on the back. Hold on. Okay, back of... Are they just all the cupcake? They just all the cupcake on the back. Okay. Baby Chica. Alright, Baby Chica. Pretty cool. That is a fan model, by the way, if you couldn't tell. That is and then we got big numbers at the bottom. I don't know. ATK and Def. I don't know what those mean, but yeah. We got Springtrap here. And yeah, that is a fan render. I forgot who made that model. I think it was Everything Animations, but I could be wrong. But yeah, there's another fan model render. Then we got another Ennard, which this is just normal Ennard, and he's... Oh, that's a badass pose right there. Okay, well... Oh! Chica with green eyes. What does it say on the back? Happy birthday, Gold 94 Chica. What is... Okay, there's Bonnie on the back of that one. There's Chica on the back of this one. So I guess the backs are just random movie posters? Weird. But yeah, these are all stolen fan art, and they're pretty funny. This one's my favorite from this pack, but yeah, I guess we'll open another pack in a bit. Then we got this stupid-looking cat here. I don't know what's going on here. This is just ridiculous. I mean, it's clearly a repaint of, like, some Candy the Cat mold. I don't know why he has a giant gash in his chest, though. And his freckles are, like, very, like, deeply indented and they're lopsided. I don't know. This thing looks like it was hand-sculpted. The fact this even came out of a plastic mold is shocking to me. Then we got these absolutely wonderful bootlegs, which are very derivative of the original Funko figures. In fact, I believe they actually do just attempt to steal the sculpts, although they did kind of melt them together into individual pieces instead of having different joints and stuff. These are like little solid hunks of plastic, and, you know, they look great. I mean, look at Bonnie, look at Chica, look at the cupcake. Springtrap has these big, beautiful eyes going on, and he's orange for some reason. Like, I don't know what's up with that, but, you know, he's got a nice vibe. You know, he looks friendly. And speaking of friendly, I think I've just found the happiest looking Freddy figure that I've ever seen. Like, look at that guy. That guy's never seen a bad thing in the world. I don't know why his stomach is so, like, scratched up, though. And his hat is, like, this weird translucent dark green, and it looks really gross. And you can take his mask off to reveal this head that kind of looks like the little robots from the Lego movie. Not exactly sure what's up with that, but it's an option. Then we got a Bonnie in the same set, and man, they really did not give him the same attention as Freddy in the paint department. What happened here? And he has the same feature where you can rip off his head and reveal this amazing endoskeleton. We got Chica here, who is a bit better than Bonnie. She's kind of shaped like... I don't know how to describe it. She's like... I don't know, my brain went to the really crappy, like, Flash cowl piece from the video games. I have no idea why this specifically came to mind. Maybe it's because I found my Lego Flash the other day, but I don't know. She's got an awesome looking cupcake. Her feet look like they belong to a frog, and she has an especially angry face. Then we got Foxy, who's back to the wholesome, positive vibes that Freddy had going on. I mean, look at that big old smile. This guy's just ready to have a great time. But you can see underneath, he's actually very angry inside. Now, I was going to make a reference to the Dream Mask music video, but I don't think that's been funny for the last, like, year. Maybe longer. I haven't been keeping track, so I'm not going to make that joke. But I'm going to say that I was gonna. Then we got Spring Bonnie, the yellow rabbit, whatever you want to call him, and I like this one, okay? He's got nice vibes. He's similar to Freddy and Foxy, but he looks a bit more, I don't know, like, dead inside. Like, I don't know, his face just kind of looks like he's kind of vibing. Surprisingly decent paint job on his teeth, honestly. He carries the trend of the very scratchy stomach that I don't really understand. And uncharacteristically for Spring Bonnie, instead of William Afton inside, it is the same endoskeleton again. Now we got this guy, who I think is incredibly interesting. So, this is a animatronic Mexican bootleg Freddy Fazbear figure, and he has a fabric body, which is something that I've never seen before, a nice red bow tie, and he has a translucent head, and according to the listing, it says that he plays sounds, which I can't really find any footage of, but I really want to know what this thing does. Like, if I turn this thing on, what is it going to do? Why is the body made of fabric? I don't think they've ever done this before, but it's clearly made by the same people because he's got that dumb head mold. But I wasn't about to pay $70 to find out, because that's how much they're trying to sell this guy for, so quite the interesting specimen here. Okay, well, these Superstar Battle cards definitely do not disappoint. Let's open up this one next, which has a Lady Fizzy art FNAF poster that was official. But, yeah, they used official art on the front, so I guess that's a good sign. But let's get this open. This packaging is really easy to open, by the way. Like, cheap. Feels cheap. But, yeah, let's take this out of here. We can see Foxy on the back there. Let's see who this is. I can't tell. It's the Chica image again. Security guard. Ooh, 900,000 and a million? Ooh, that's... Oh, I think this means attack and it means defense, I think. I think that's what that means. I have no idea how you're supposed to play these, like how the playing card aspect works, but yeah, that is a picture of Josh Hutcherson, so that's pretty cool. Then we got... They really love Ennard, don't they? Wire Ennard. Okay. Gotta love Wire Ennard. Freddy. It's just regular old Freddy, number 56. Yup. Hey, Freddy. Here we've got Foxy, who is number 87. Nice fan render. And then we got Chica here, who is 15. So, yeah, this feels like a cursed artifact. I like this thing. This one, I'm not sure what their obsession with Ennard is, or if I've just coincidentally gotten all the Ennard cards, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird there. Let's check the backs, okay? It seems like more of the same stuff. What the hell? Okay, as I said that, what is that? I don't know where this artwork's from, but yeah, all the other cards, it seems like it's mostly movie posters on the back with the occasional whatever the hell. I don't know. These are interesting. Alright, so now we've got the third and final Superstar Battle Cards pack, but don't worry, we got plenty more packs on these ones, but let's check this out here. What could possibly be inside of these? It's literally a gamble, because you could get literally any FNAF image on the internet on these things, it seems like. I'm basically opening up trading cards for FNAF Google image results. But yeah, we see here, Chica backing on this one. We've got... Obsession with Ennard! Like I've said before, obsession. Why are there so many Ennard cards? I've gotten an Ennard in every pack. Got 2 Ennards in the same pack. Like, why am I getting so many Ennards? I don't understand. I mean, I like Ennard, but I guess these guys really like him too. Let's see, who's here? Nightmare Freddy with a picture of Nightmare Fredbear. Classic. Number 123. I think that might be the highest number I've seen so far. So I guess there's quite a few of these. Yeah, Nightmare Freddy, according to them. We've got... Psycho Foxy? Psycho Foxy? It's supposed to, like, it looks like he's like a therapist or something. I think that's what they're going for. Where did they even find this picture? Okay. Alright, man. Bonnie and another Bonnie. Oh, okay, 2 Bonnies in this pack, and it's the same fan model, but it is different images. So, yeah, we got 2 different Bonnies, exact same name, same everything, but, yeah, then the back, any interesting backings? Alright, more of the same, so, yeah, this pack was, I mainly just, like, this is, what's going on here? We got Gregory, and I've noticed that lately they've been very obsessed with translucent plastic. Like, Gregory, a human boy, has translucent shirt and translucent pants where you can see like where the joint connectors are on him through, and it's just a little bit funny. I also don't know what's up with this mask he's holding. It kind of looks like a recolor of the prototype Springlock suit from the Silver Eyes graphic novel. And he's got this Spidey and His Amazing Friends type face going on. Here we got this stupid Foxy plush, just stupid and dumb and terrible and honestly stupid. Like, look at this thing. Why has he got his tongue sticking out? What's his deal? Look at this stupid eye. Why does he have like a flesh texture? Anyway, here we got some Freddy and Chica rubber bootleg earrings, and Freddy is characteristically missing a tooth, which is a detail that most merch companies actually forget that he has. And here we can see a demonstration of somebody's ear with the Chica earring on, and This just looks amazing. I mean, if this isn't a fashion statement, I don't know what is. Freddy does look very upset about that missing tooth, though. Like, look at him. Also, I like how they couldn't fit all the detail on Chica's bib, so they just put, like, 2 lines instead of just having it be blank. And I appreciate the dedication to even have anything there. And I also appreciate the audacity to not get a Freddy in proper condition for the product image. And then we've got a similar Foxy figure who is looking very interesting. Now, I don't know if he's actually missing teeth or if it's just designed like that, but he does appear to be missing some teeth in the middle, so who knows? He's also missing his hair on the top, so I guess they shaved him. Here we got some bootleg pillows, which honestly look exactly like something that Good Stuff would release, but we got a Foxy, a Bonnie, a Freddy, who looks amazing with his iconic green eyes that he's always had, and then we've got Chica, who it looks like one of those like little inflatable guys outside like the car wash or something. Now here we got a Springtrap, who both looks very rotten. He looks like kind of withered away foam in a way, even though he's plastic. And then also, if we look at him, you know, he's got lots of detail. He's very bloated, you know, a very big guy. And we can look at him in the back, and maybe his torso is so bloated because he has a speaker inside of him. Now, I don't know what sound this could possibly play, but I am very curious, and I hope to find out someday. Although, I do have a bootleg I'm going to look at later in this video that might just answer that, because it looks like it's the same speaker, but we'll see. Here we got a terrible Chica figure that somehow has a perfect-looking cupcake. And this one also has a speaker. Then we got a Freddy Fazbear, very iconic, also with a speaker in the back, and a Foxy with blue eyes, iconic blue eyes, and a speaker in the back. I don't like the texture on these things. I mentioned that already, but like I really don't like how these look. These look like very gross to the touch. Speaking of gross, this Foxy is just not okay. Not okay. I mean, if I take the mask off, it's a little he honestly looks a little pathetic like this. I kind of prefer this. Alright, so we've opened the Superstar Battle Card packs, but now we've got these ones here, which are figure arte, and these ones are not shying away from being well-known because they like to put their socials on their packs, so I'll take a peek at those in the actual video, but... So, I looked up their socials, and they do indeed make these things. I don't know what else to say, though. But let's take a look at opening these. Let's start off with this Glamrock Freddy one. So... yeah, it says these were 3 pesos, and it contains 5 cards. A lot more detail on this packaging, I'll give them that. Alright, so let's get this open here and see what's inside. Okay, I kind of wanted to preserve the packaging a bit, so I'm going to try to be careful with them, but yeah, I don't know how careful I can be because these are very cheaply made packaging. Alright, let's just pull this out here. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's see. We got a security breach, Glamrock Freddy. That's a beautiful image. I like the Minecraft font. Very interesting use of that. Yeah, okay. There he is. Then we got, let's see. We got a Nightmare Bonnie, or Toy Bonnie. Sorry, Toy Bonnie Nightmare. Okay, that is a fan render. It is a very good model, but it is a fan render. And it got a these all seem to have backdrops that are screenshots from Security Breach. But yeah, we got Toy Bonnie Nightmare. These also have the attack and defense thing, so very similar to the previous card set. We've got Adventure Nightmare Fredbear. Alright, at least that's named properly. He's in front of the salon from Security Breach. We've got Plush Trap Nightmare. Alright, he is a Nightmare animatronic, so I guess that is correct. And then let's look at this one. Withered Toy Bonnie. Alright, cool. That backdrop is not from Security Breach. That's the first non-Security Breach. But wait, was this one? No, okay. So we got fan render of FNAF 1 Office, fan render of FNAF 2 Prize Counter, and then a bunch of Security Breach screenshots for the other ones. Very, very weird. Alright, now for this next pack, I'm thinking we should open the Unwithered Bonnie last. Let's open up this Mangle one, or I guess Funtime Foxy, if you want to be proper about it. But yeah, let's take this out here and take a peek. So, ooh, Melodies. So I guess Mediocre Melodies just shortened it. Ned Bear, Minecraft font, as we love to see. Same backdrop as the Glamrock Freddy card we got. Then we'll flip this over. We've got Prototype Glamrock Freddy from Ruin. So these are pretty recent, I guess, because Ruin, I guess it was 2 years ago, but still. More recent stuff in here than I thought. We got Prototype Glamrock Freddy from Ruin. Then we've got a fan design for Glamrock Chica, not the official design. And then we've got the puppet with this interesting FNAF 2 render, and that is the Splinks puppet model, I believe. Then Easter Bonnie. Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite right there. That's my favorite card. I didn't actually look at the backings. It seems like the backings to all these cards are just FNAF movie posters, though. Which is very similar to the other ones. It's weird. These are similar to the other ones, but they're clearly different. Like, if I put them next to each other, it's like, you can tell these are different types of cards, but they have the same ideas behind them. I'm not really sure what's up with these. Here we got this Toy Bonnie, Nightmare Bonnie, whatever you want to call it, bootleg plush, and I don't know what's up with this image. Somebody sent this in my Discord server, and I'm not really sure what to make of this. Like, he's very weirdly cropped. There's a FNAF movie poster in the background. Very menacing aura here. And same goes for this Glamrock Freddy, who also has some very sharp, menacing teeth. I don't know. It's just bad vibes here. Now here we got some bootleg Heroes of Goo-Jitsu, which is a Stretch Armstrong type toy line. And here's some knockoff Five Nights at Freddy's ones that are also based on Funko Pops, so I guess this is like a double toy line infringement. And apparently these are very squishy and they look really funny. I don't really have much to say about them besides, why is Funtime Foxy in the set and not normal Foxy? And then we got some more bootlegs that try to be heavily derivative of the Funko molds, and I think these speak for themselves, and let's be honest, they're pretty freaking awesome. I'm particularly a fan of Golden Freddy. Foxy gives me, like, fucking Beavis and Butthead vibes. Chica looks like she has rabies. Bonnie looks... yeah. And then Golden Freddy looks pretty dapper. Alright, now let's open up this Withered Toy Chica pack. So, let's get this open. If it'll open. There we go. There we go. Get out. Alright, we've got Sun, which is pretty cool. Some of these have, like, the name of the game they're from on the top, and some of them have it, like, a recording thing. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but, yeah. Sun here in the FNAF 2 office, where he's always meant to be. This one's backwards. Orville Elephant, or just Orville. Alright, cool. They love using this backdrop of the security breach lobby. We got Fredbear Nightmare. That is a weird... okay, so they did the same thing for Nightmare Bonnie. They're using these really accurate fan renders of the Nightmare animatronics instead of just the ones that are in the extras menu. Really weird. Then we've got Bonnie with his head ripped off, and it says Toy Bonnie. You doing good there, buddy? He's seen better days. I don't know why it says Toy Bonnie. And then the last card... oh, come on. You can get duplicates? That's crappy. That's crappy. I'm gonna permanently stick this in the backdrop. Here we go. Alright, last one of these figure arte card packs. We've got Unwithered Bonnie. Love this image. Love how this pack looks. Shame to open it since I kind of like it, but you know, we gotta do it for the content. So let's check this out. Of course, it rips weirdly when I open it. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. Who are you? We got a Toy Bonnie fan render in Glamrock Freddy's room. Okay, as expected. Oh boy. I love this model. I love these models. Those models, I love those ones. I'm really happy to see them here. It says this is Curse of Dreadbear, and that is Nightmare Freddy. I mean, Nightmare Freddy was in Curse of Dreadbear, so I guess they're not technically wrong. I really love the use of this model here. Let's flip over here. We've got Plush, Fredbear Plush. All right. I struggle to come up with things to say about a lot of these, because there's like... alright, we got Nightmare Chica. Well, I guess that is Adventure Nightmare Chica, although it looks... the colors are more like Jacko Chica. It's weird. Alright, last card we're gonna open. Let's see. Corrupted Freddy. I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, he looks kind of... I guess he's upgraded. He has the upgraded parts. I don't know about corrupted, but... yeah. Alright, well... What's the conclusion here about these cards? I guess the conclusion I can come to is that I want more of them. Here we got some interesting Freddy and Foxy bootlegs that are seemingly directly based on the Rubo FNAF plushies, which if you didn't know, these are some early fan-made FNAF plushie projects, and images of them were very popular back in the day, circulating around, so I guess it makes sense that bootleggers would try to copy them, and thankfully it was quite unsuccessful. This frickin' Baby Joey type character. Here we got this Funko Springtrap bootleg who is incredibly green, incredibly funny looking. He kind of looks like a frog more than a rabbit, even though he has big rabbit ears. Like, if you took away the ears and you took away the nose, he'd just be kind of a weird frog, and I think that's really cool. And then we got this damn thing. I don't need to say a word about this, okay? You know what you're looking at, alright? You just do. And here we got a pretty wild assortment of bootlegs here. Here we got Michelangelo. That's not Michelangelo, that's Leonardo. Sorry, I don't know anything about Ninja Turtles. But it's an animatronic version of Leonardo. We got Bon and the sheep from the Walton Files. I've never watched the Walton Files. I don't know what the sheep's name is. Honestly, I kind of like how these look, though. These are kind of funny. Then we got a Glamrock Mr. Hippo who looks very malnourished. This weird reindeer character, I have no idea what this character is from. Let me know in the comments if you know who this is. We've got a Happy Frog who is quite out of place in this bunch of fan game characters. We got the monkey from Five Nights at Candy's, forgot his name. And also Cindy from Five Nights at Candy's. And honestly, that is quite a beautiful set. And what isn't beautiful is this Freddy plush here. Now, honestly, he's kind of awesome. I don't know where this bootleg came from. This is a very, very obscure one. This is literally the only image of it I could find. And the fact that the only image of it I could find has Justice League merch in the background is just an awesome thing to me. Also, shout out to Allie, because I asked people in my Discord to send in, like, bootlegs they found, and you in particular sent so many in, and they were all so good, so I just felt like you deserved a specific shout out. Shout out to you. That is awesome. A lot of the ones I talked about in this video were because you sent them. I wouldn't have found them otherwise. Also, since I know I'll get a million comments about it, my server is invite only. If you catch me posting one, which I do sometimes, you'll be able to get in, but I'm not gonna, like, be sending people invites in the comment section, so don't bother asking. Okay, anyway, let's review some bootlegs. So, we got this big box here, and, okay, it's not very big, but it is very heavy. This has some bootlegs in it. Obviously, if you clicked on this video, you should have expected that. But, yeah, very well taped up. Thank you to the seller. Yeah, I guess I'll open this. No, yep, I can already smell lots of amazing fumes and smells and everything coming out of here. Lots of great stuff. What the hell? What is that? We got a puppet. And we got a Freddy, and we got a Bonnie and a Chica. Okay, well. So as expected, these are very stinky. What the? What? It makes sounds? I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Do you make sounds? Your battery pack is all messed up. Okay. What about you? No, you just flash lights really quickly. It looks a lot better on camera than does in person. Then we got the puppet here. You don't got... I'll do this one first, you know? Okay, so, Bonnie's still going. Hey, stop. Stop that. Stop that. Stop. There. Alright, so, puppet here. I got this one because it looks pretty good, like, cosmetically, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I'll check this out. It's ripped open at the bottom. Okay. Alright, so we got our puppet figure here. Let's give it a whiff. Okay. Yup. It sure does smell just how I remembered these smelling. Not good. Mask comes off for no discernible reason. Is there a light on the back of the head? Okay, if there was a light on the back of the head, it does not work. You know, if this figure didn't smell terrible, it looks pretty good, I mean. Like, you can turn the wrists, has wrist articulation. That's pretty good. Yeah, wrist swivel. We got no leg articulation. You got a torso swivel. We got a head pivot. Puppet's a very easy character to get right, so I'm not very surprised at how this looks, but yeah, this is not that bad in terms of like sculpting and paint work and everything. They did a pretty good job. Then you got this base here with it, which says Five Nights at Freddy's, has this weird Freddy thing on it, and supposedly you're supposed to get like the legs pegged into here, but I don't know how that's gonna happen. Because the legs are very, very, like, stiff and spread out, so I guess I just need to, like, shove it in. That's not gonna work. I don't know how I'm supposed to get this into the base, because it doesn't fit. Like, you can see, that's way too far apart there. You could try to, like, pull it to fit, but, like, it's not gonna stay. Okay, well, this is a flop. I was kind of excited because of the base on this one, but I guess it just doesn't work. Okay. But hey, at least the figure looks way better than it smells. So I'll set you back there. Okay. Let's take a look at you next. We got a Rabbithole Bonnie. Now, if you remember my Rabbithole video, this is from that. So yeah, we've got Rabbithole Bonnie here, or I guess Rabbithole Toy Bonnie. Really weird choice to do Toy Bonnie rather than regular Bonnie. I get, maybe they did make a regular Bonnie, but it has the cheeks sculpted in, so I'm assuming this is the only one they made. Just very weird that they chose this more obscure iteration of Rabbithole Bonnie instead. But I'll be honest, the body sculpt is pretty accurate. Like, this looks a lot like the actual, like, artwork. So, they did a good job on the body. The face here could use a little work, let's be honest. Got a little Sonic Hedgehog quills, a lot of circuitry and stuff. Got this weird spider thing. Then the actual endoskeleton looks, it looks like I sculpted it out of clay when I was, like, 10. So, yeah, not the best looking, but it's, like, passable, you know? I don't know what's going on with his face. Like, I don't know how to discern, like, the expression this is or anything. Like, it's very weird looking. I don't understand. But, you know, he's trying his best, I think. And you can turn on the light here, and you can see it's all glowy. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so he glows with the light on his back. Puppet's light is missing straight up. So, yeah, I give this guy, he gets a big old gold star. Now, the next one we've got is another Glamrock, which this is usually the rough style that usually has the lead in it, that kind of like rough paint on it. This one, this style here usually doesn't, from my knowledge at least. I could test it again, but other figures in this vein I've tested did not have any lead, so I'm hopeful that this one is safe. But yeah, I bought the golden version because I thought it would be funny, but I'm kind of regretting it because there is like no paint on this thing. You can take off her mask. You can see like even the endoskeleton, no paint at all. That's a very funny looking endoskeleton though. But yeah, if you put her mask back on, you can see her mouth does move, and she can do the jump scare thing. What joke can I make here? I show speed. I don't know. Was that funny to you kids? Yeah, you can see here. It moves the legs around. They don't do very much though. The legs are very restricted in terms of articulation. No knee joints whatsoever. The foot swivel a little bit. And you can see here the wrists do swivel a bit. And she did come with a guitar here, and she does not hold it very well, but she can hold it, which I'll show. Alright, so, yeah, here we got her holding it. She doesn't hold it, but it's very strange. Like, this is a very weird way to hold a guitar, am I wrong? Yeah, I don't know. It works, and she does hold it, but I don't know. It looks a little weird. I'd prefer it without the guitar. her hands are sculpted, like, this one's a very, like, standard action figure hand position. And this one's, like, this weird, like, pointing gesture. I assume it's supposed to be like she's strumming the guitar, but her fingers can never actually reach the strings, so I don't really know. I think that's the intention, though. Yeah, this figure, pretty accurate. Her battery pack for her light is just falling off. It's in the bag here. I don't know if I even want to bother. Like, let's see. Let me just turn it on through the bag. Okay. Yep, exactly. Yep. Exactly what all the other ones are. Okay. Chica, 2 stars. Okay, I take that back. Her sculpt is pretty good. This is pretty accurate, the security breach. I like the mouth articulation. This is a decent sculpt for a bootleg. I did have the Freddy version of this. I'll pull that out right now. Alright, so we can compare here. These are obviously the same style of bootleg. I reviewed this Glamrock Freddy a little while ago, and, you know, I like him. This is a pretty decent bootleg. He did stink quite a bit when I first got him. Does he still? He does a little bit, but not nearly as much. This one did not have lead in it, so I'm gonna assume that this one doesn't as well, because it's like the exact same thing. But yeah, this Freddy here was pretty good. He's got, like, you know, you can open up his chest cavity, which is pretty cool. He's got a lot of features and stuff. He's better than the Funko one, which I know a lot of people say about this, but, like, is that really that impressive? To be better than the Funko Glamrock Freddy? To be better than that thing? I just don't think that it's a very, like, big compliment. That's not like a big, like, gotcha, like a lot of people seem to treat it. But, you know, I like this guy enough. He's fine. Chica here. If I got the regular version, I'm sure I would like it a bit more. But, you know, this is a funnier version. And I prefer the funny version, you know? Just a little scary there. Also, a big point, Draw, Kill, Bonnie, and Puppet cannot stand on their own. The Glamrock ones, perfectly fine. They can all stand, so that's pretty cool. So now, we've got this guy. Now, this is an interesting one, because this is a brand new version of a very classic style of the Mexican bootlegs. This is very classic, and by that I mean, this is like the original Freddy sculpt they made for, like, the very first FNAF figure they made, and it's just very interesting, you know, because I don't actually own this original sculpt, but I remember it being so elusive to me when I was younger, and this is seemingly a bigger version of it with more features. It's like a deluxe one, and I'd never seen a deluxe, like, Mexican bootleg before, so I just really was curious about this guy, and I can already tell, he's got ear articulation. Like, that's pretty wacky. He's got full elbow joints, which most of them don't. He has a swivel. His arms have full range, actually. Wow, this is way more posable than I thought. I'm gonna be honest. Like, he has a decent amount of range on his arms. He does that. Yep, there you go. Yeah, okay, so he jump scares sounds, this weird, like, bootleg jump scare sound, and he flashes his eyes of different colors, which is pretty cool. His mouth obviously still opens, like all of them do. But, yeah, we can see here in the bag, there's some other stuff here for him. We've got a little baggie here that has his microphone and his top hat, so let's get those out and give them to him. Okay, so, put this hat on. Okay, buddy, okay. This is so annoying. Stop! I'm trying to give you your hat. There. Okay, he's got his hat on. He's looking spiffy. Now we can put on his microphone, which goes in right here. And, yeah, okay, so he also has leg articulation. You can move his legs up and down. They're a bit more... Okay, this one is very gummy for some reason. It also looks kind of weird on the plastic there. This leg is perfectly fine, though. But yeah, he has a waist swivel. You can take his... Okay, what can you do with this guy? Can his mask come off? Oh, geez, his entire endo head fell off. But hey, look at that. That's pretty cool looking. You can see his endo head right there. That's pretty cool. You can see the inside of his head, and oh my goodness. Okay, so his ears are attached to the endo head, which I guess makes sense. He's completely silver. That's another reason I got this guy. I thought the color scheme was very interesting. That's just falling out. There's wires and stuff. Okay, you go back. It looks like It's fucking Iron Man's arc reactor or something. Look at that. Oh, jeez, that's so bright. Oh my gosh. Put that back on. Okay. That was very, very bright. Okay. I don't know if you're supposed to disassemble his head because the little LEDs in his head started, like, moving out of place and stuff. I have a feeling you're supposed to keep this guy together most of the time. Yeah, his microphone doesn't like to stay in. But, you know, this is a pretty neat figure. He's got a decent amount of articulation. Honestly, his articulation's about on par with Funko figures because he can't move his head as much, but he does have mouth articulation and stuff. He's about on par with most Funko figures in terms of articulation. In terms of sculpt, obviously, he looks like this, but, like, for being a bootleg and for being, like, this old Freddy sculpt, I think the fact that they're still using this is just amusing. It's very similar to Funko, you know? They love using their original Freddy sculpt, like, 10 years later. Yeah, feet are hollow. Does his torso come off? I can't tell. It looks like there's a seam there. And usually these things have, like, a little thing in the... I don't know. I'm gonna try to, like, pry this open and see. Okay, That's about what I expected, but I just wanted to make sure. It is just a bunch of wires taped in there. This guy looks like a fire hazard, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't trust this guy, but, you know, I'll let him be. I'll let him exist. Let's just do one more for the road. That's pretty good for the thumbnail, honestly. I use this guy for the thumbnail. He's pretty cool. He's not that much bigger than a standard one. He's a pretty standard. He's more in, if I grab one down here, he's more in about this style, where it has, like, these ones didn't have lead. This guy probably doesn't, although I wouldn't put it past him because he is very, like, metallic. I don't know. Maybe he was painted. I don't think he was painted, though. I think it's just the color of the plastic he's made of. This guy here, this guy was squeaky clean, so, yeah, he's, oh, geez, his light's still in there, okay. But yeah, this guy is interesting. We can evaluate the three styles, you know, oh, geez, his thing fell out again, oh my gosh. It's like the opening of Iron Man 1, I feel like, you know what, you know in the movie when, like, Tony is just, like, laying on, like, the table, and then Pepper has to walk up to him, and then he's just like, hey, could you, like, switch out my arc reactor that's gonna kill me if you mess up? That's what this feels like, okay? I feel like I'm gonna kill this guy. But yeah, you got this guy here. This is the style that one is of, you know, this, like, rough style with, like, the flat colors. Then we got the flat colors, but they're much smoother and much more on model. And then you got these freaks, which are just, like, the most unhinged things ever, although this one's pretty tame, unlike the original. This guy, you guys may be wondering, why do I still have this guy? He tested fully positive for lead. He's probably, you know, harmful, but, you know, I keep him in a containment facility most of the time, you know? He doesn't get out much, so, you know, I'll let him breathe a little bit, you know, I'll let him get some of the air. I hate this thing, okay? I have this thing for, like, whenever I need to pull it out for a video, but he is not pleasant. So, am I happy with our new family of Mexican bootlegs that I've welcomed into the channel? Well, they sure are. I mean, they do happen. I like this guy the most. This guy's my favorite. This is second place. This guy's probably last. This guy's third. You know, these are charming, as always. And I'm realizing right now, I still have no clue what this is. It clearly goes to Freddy here, but I don't know where on Freddy it would go. Also, Freddy's just, like, holding the puppet for dear life. And if you want to see, well, you will receive, because here we go. This is the closet where all of them live. I think they're pretty happy here. You know, they all get to live as a family in this closet. He goes furthest back, you know, this is my containment facility I was talking about. Pretty secure, in my opinion. I'm just gonna... I should close that.